Under all its New Age finery, the exquisite liberal humanitarian Renaissance Enlightenment, so terrifying to weaker mentalities, represents the introduction of a technological tyranny so immense it is difficult to grasp. It is both a physical, technological tyranny as well as a tyranny of the mind. But in the beginning, the occult praxis behind these horrors was dressed up in the de la haute majesty of the Renaissance. In that era, the alchemical programming of humanity, which is, after all, what alchemy has really been about, the talk of baser metals being a code phrase for base humanity, this intricate and delicate theater of the Thanatos, this hermetic shepherding of the human sheeple, all for our own good and without our knowledge, took place inside the flowering of the greatest art epic of Western civilization. It's a little bit of Secret Societies and Psychological Warfare by Michael A. Hoffman, Independent History and Research. Highly recommend that. Hello and welcome to another edition of the Stench of Truth. You know, surprisingly enough, I have seen some bantering back and forth between the so-called left and the so-called right and the so-called liberals and the so-called conservatives on a New Deal. And of course there's been the systematic bashing from the right, and we still have this inundation in our society of the media harping on the idea of deficits and debt and how this is something that is, destroying any chance of our regaining a strong economy in the United States. So they're still harping on this deficit debt monster and trying to make it seem like because this is the big main issue, they have to go pull back from spending and not address some of the key issues that I think need to be addressed in order to bring about a true economic recovery in this country, and that is a New Deal. But to do it differently than FDR did in a couple of ways. One would be to take over the Federal Reserve, to nationalize the Federal Reserve. Now look, the Federal Reserve, I want you to really understand this, okay? The Federal Reserve has given trillions of dollars to banks, foreign and domestic, trillions of dollars. Do you see any of these banks lending this money, putting it into productive capacity within the economy? Do you? The answer is no, you do not. So what are the banks doing with the trillions of dollars that the Fed has given them? They are hoarding it, earning interest on it, increasing their bottom line. They're saying, fuck you, economy, and fuck you, people, and fuck you, Federal Reserve. We're doing whatever the fuck we want with this. And of course, there's nothing you can do about it. The banks are their own entities. I'd be all in favor of nationalizing the fucking banks too, but you don't need to do that. Nationalize the fucking Federal Reserve. Make it a short-term thing. Take it over under emergency powers. Force the Federal Reserve to finance programs within states, to give zero-interest loans to states to rebuild their infrastructures and to help them overcome the crushing burdens that they're having right now. Give them money to support their Medicaid programs, which are going to be a total disaster under the Obama fucking healthcare reform travesty. And use the money creation power of the Federal Reserve for the benefit of the people in this country. Have a new Works Progress Administration. Put people to work. Get on it. New roads, new bridges, new power plants, new water plants, new sewage treatment plants. Bring our sewer systems up to date, our water pipeline systems up to date. We have nothing but all over the place main water lines breaking everywhere because our entire infrastructure is undermined from years of having no improvements being done. It's time we focus on something that is real and something that can be done in a positive fashion. If you're afraid of nationalizing the Federal Reserve as a long-term political solution, do it under an emergency provision and force the Federal Reserve to give money to the states for infrastructure repair. Have a new Works Progress Administration that will go about building and constructing every bit of infrastructure in this country that is needed, not only to sustain us now, but to take us forward and to support a new, greater productive capacity within this country. That means more nuclear power plants, more alternative power plants, but certainly more coal, oil, natural gas power plants as well. Roads, highway systems, rail, light rail, regular rail. All right? Everything is on the table, and everything should be addressed. And put people to work directly through a new WPA. The unemployment rate is not going to be affected in any way. It's not going to go down unless you do something about making sure that people get employed. And you can't do that in this system right now, because the banks can do whatever they want with the trillions of dollars that they have received from the Federal Reserve. And they are not putting it into small businesses, medium businesses, or large businesses. The only thing they're doing is keeping it in their own fucking accounts. They're not doing anything to stimulate the fucking economy. And yet you have had the Federal Reserve give them trillions of fucking dollars at virtually zero interest. Well, it's time to turn the Federal Reserve to the benefit of the country and the people. And say, you've had enough, banks. You want to stay out of the picture? Stay out of the picture. You're not permitted to invest in any of these programs, any of these things that we are going to enact through the Federal Reserve in an emergency nationalization campaign, Emergency Works Progress Administration, new one, a total and complete revamping of the infrastructure in this country. You can employ millions of people on this. Millions. Funnel it through the states. Funnel it through the states. And you know what, banks? You can't buy any stock in this. You can't be involved in any way, shape, or form. You cannot make money on this, whether you're shorting, whether you're going long, whether you're buying derivatives, whether you're doing any other fucking financial fucking transaction you want. You're barred! You're barred from being involved. You can't make money off of this in any way, shape, or fucking form. Fuck you. And when this fucking country does turn around, motherfuckers, you're the ones who are going to be next on the fucking list if we do not have the balls right now to finally say, these banks have enough fucking power. It's time to take some of it the fuck back. Let's have a new deal. Put people to work, because the fucking system that's in place right now certainly is doing nothing to increase fucking jobs in this country. And the people continue to be treated as though they are trash and nothing by the administration, by the Federal Reserve, and by the banks, who have been the fucking sole beneficiary of any economic activity in this country. Let's put people to work with a new deal, a Works Progress Administration that is funneled through the states. The states hire the people. The states get the money directly from the Federal Reserve, 0% interest. They hire the people to rebuild all of the infrastructure within their individual states. It helps the states. It helps them meet their budget guidelines. And it puts people to work. It's time. We have to do something. The current system is only about enriching the rich and fucking everybody else. I'm sick of getting fucked. How about you? Let's look at something different. Let's be a little radical. Let's go outside the box. Thank you.